Hi, this is Maginoni, and here's my review for Justice League number 41, Darkseid Wars. Now, this review is going to be a little bit different because this is both rant, frustration, and it's also a good book. Now, Johns really did a great job at setting the tone for this, the war between the two iconic villains. You know, the art is really strong, and you know, they started off as a murder mystery. You know, just imagine Terminator. The story is swiped right from that, where you have these people looking for a specific person. They're killing this person all over the United States. Terminator. And the Justice League is investigating because Cyborg, he basically he can sense the boom tubes like after they open. So that's why he knows that there's trouble brewing. Now, what I also thought was really good was the how, like, Shazam, you know, Shazam's like this godlike character, but yet he's like, I've never seen a dead body before, and he's just completely traumatized by it. You know, it brings the character back to being a human, because you know, you have to remember he really is a kid. So while all that's going on, you have like a Mr. Miracle. Like, who is Mr. Miracle? What's his deal going on? And then you have this lovely interaction between Superman and Lex. And you know, on one hand, this bickering, it kind of made me laugh a little bit, but at the other hand, it just it pissed me off because it could have been so much better. It's basically, there's the villain from the last story, Nuclear or Nuclon or whatever his stupid name is. He basically, where's the guy's name? That's gonna bother me now. Neutron. All right, Neutron's dying. He's got radiation issues, cancer going on. You know, normal means he can't survive. And Lex Luthor grabbed him and pulled him out of Star Labs, and he's gonna take care of him. You know, and Superman's like, dude, what are you doing? You know, like, I know you want to kill him. And you know, Luthor's like, you know, like, you would trust this secret organization. You know, I'm above board. I can't let this guy get killed. You know, and like, the best part is, like, you know, it's this attitude of like, well, you know, like, the guy's gonna die, and like, Superman's attitude is like, well, you know, aren't you the great Lex Luthor who can do anything? Let's see you do your magical powers and cure this guy. And even Captain Cold is like, you know, I got front row seats. You know, what Superman's basically baiting Luthor to cure cancer. And, you know, but I'm like, Luthor, like, lost it. I mean, this should have been longer. The baiting, you know, like, you know, oh, excuse me, great one. You know, like, why couldn't, I would have expected this to have been done, you know, last week, and we'd be drinking coffee. You know, and on the flip side, Luthor should have been like, oh, excuse me, Mr. Superman, the man who can do anything. But yet he's so powerless to save this one individual. You know what I mean? It's like they could have just had so much fun with that. And so that just kind of pissed me off. Now, overall, though, putting that aside, there's some really cool things that happen later, but I won't spoil that part because I want to get into my rant. Here's the deal. DC really fucked up this Darkseid War and Convergence. And this is what I mean. Okay, I understand the move jacked everything up. So we'll just take the move out of the equation for just a moment. Because again, it's the timing of everything. Timing is everything. This should have been the prelude. This should have been the big event book. You know, you could have had DC could have had a major story arc, you know, how many parts this is going to be, as its own title, right? Then you could have had as the obviously this war is going to carry over into cities. It's not just going to be in Metropolis or in some on Apocalypse. It's going to be all over the place, in theory. So you could have had your miniseries, like, okay, here's what's going on in Gotham. How these, how the Bat books are affected. And, you could have kept the Batman Court book out because of its endgame storyline. But, you could have had the Red Hood and Robin, Batgirl, all interacting with that. You could have had storylines with a Superman dealing with, the Daily Planet, trying to figure out, trying to do the news, try to get the word out, trying to get the stories as to what's going on, and then you could have had the Superman-centric characters, Star Labs, that kind of stuff, dealing with that stuff, and same thing with Central City, you could have had all of that stuff going on, and, so this way you could have had your breakout story arcs to, generate the extra revenue, then on top of that, because you are dealing with the Anti-Monitor, there could have been like a rip and tear in space at the end, in which a group of superheroes get sucked through it. Who cares who they are for right now? They get sucked through it, and they're lost, and then they get lost to the multiverse. Then you could have, if you wanted to take your Brainiac storyline, with Convergence, you could have had Brainiac going, holy shit, this is craziness. This is going to be like, if this battle went the wrong way, the universe would have been destroyed. I need to collect the cities. Then for the next 6 to 8 months, you could have had storylines where heroes are missing. Not heroes, cities are missing. Suddenly, overnight. Hey, what happened to Central City? I don't know. It's gone. Where's the Flash? I don't know. He's gone. You could have had other storylines where Gotham, holy crap, something happened in Gotham. And, I'm not talking about, doing whole, 4-issue storylines. Just imagine this. You're reading your DC comic book, right? Just reading it normal. You get to the last page of the book, and suddenly something happens in only one page where Brainiac attacks, Central City is gone, and that's it. Or maybe it's one page where Central City survives the attack, and they don't even reveal it's Brainiac at the beginning. That doesn't come until later on. And while that's going on, you could have had a storyline of the other characters, its own book. Hey, these are the characters that are missing in the multiverse, and they're dealing with Talos, and what he's up to. Then you could have had Green Lantern going, we got to try to find our friends. He could have led a team of heroes to go save them, and then that would have tied into that other book, to boost up sales from there. Then, after months of these pages, one-page storylines of something happened, and it didn't all have to be from the New 52. It could have been from, the world of the Crime Syndicate. It could have been the world with All-Star Squadron, Justice Society, the Western world. You could have done Gotham by Gaslight. You could have done all those different worlds over with every single one of these issues over time. And people would have been, what the hell is going on? If you remember when New 52 started, the coolest thing about the launch was you had one character, nobody knew who she was, in red and a hood. And she appeared in a panel in every single issue randomly, somewhere in the book. So that meant everybody was on a hunt for this character. Speculation as to who she is and what her purpose was just going crazy. The fact that people were probably buying books just so they can find her. DC could have generated this very similar hype by one page, not explaining anything. Don't even say it's Brainiac. but cities and heroes are disappearing, you know, and then you could have had, you know, Batman on on his quest to figure out what's going on, you know, to these cities, and eventually, you know, when it gets to the end, as it gets closer to the end, then it's revealed it's Brainiac. He's collecting the cities, what he's doing. Then while that's going on, Talos and his major scheme is going on. And then you could have done the Convergence storyline. You'd have had 6 months, maybe, you know, 8 months. You could even wasted a year, depending upon how you wanted to do it, of building up the storyline between these two characters. You know, you could have given even the Green Lantern Corps a purpose. You know, they're out protecting the multiverse or something like that. You know, it could have been really good. Then when you get to the Convergence part, then you didn't even have to then go to city versus city nonsense. You didn't have to copy Secret Wars. You could have had, okay, you know, we know now that cities are, they're prisoners. Now you have to not only free those people, but you have to deal with other threats. And the storyline, you know, could have been more meaningful in the sense that you would have had a story. Then once Convergence ended, then you could have, you know, created the multiverse again. And creating the multiverse at the end of Convergence now didn't matter, because you could still do what you needed to do. I mean, this book technically is like didn't need Convergence to happen. I mean, it's out of continuity. You know, Batman's, you know, quote unquote dead. Superman doesn't have his powers. Green Lantern's a renegade. You know, none of these people should be here, type thing, but yet they're there. You know, so it's just, you know, it just makes me sad that DC just can't pull their head out of their ass to tell a story. You know, it's like, go for the cash grab. We got 2 months. Let's go for it. You know, it's like you just disappoint us time and time again. And this, I mean, this could have been a freaking sweet build-up. You know, epic build-up. But no, not going to happen because they're not creative. They can't think outside the box. And then they pulled themselves into a corner, painted themselves into a corner where they had to use 2 months for filler, and that became Convergence. But anyways, that's my rant and criticism. But this book actually was pretty solid overall. I enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the big battle. Anyways, that's it for today. Like, share. Let me know what you guys think about the war. Are you excited? I do the podcast with Cons, Freaks, and Geeks. And we'll have more stuff later. So until next time.